And welcome to episode 33 of Tales of Yarnia. This is my podcast all about knitting and anything else that's crafty that I get up to. My name is Hannah. I'm coming to you from Cheltenham in the UK, which is where I live with my other half Jimmy and our yellow Labrador Jonah. And yeah, that's my intro. Social media wise, you can find me as Yarnia Designs on Instagram and Ravelry. And you can also find my knitting patterns on Ravelry under Yarnia Designs. I'll include links to all of those and everything else that I talk about just down below in the notes. So, first thing that I wanted to talk about was a pattern release. So I can't remember the last time I filmed whether this had actually been released or not. I don't think it had, so I'm just going to show you quickly. We released the Peggy socks. So this is the first pattern in the Mad Men collection, which I'm designing currently. And there's 3 socks in the collection that I'm creating, and each one uses a different skein of yarn from Beehive Yarns. All 3 of the colourways were in the Mad Men sock. No, not Mad Men sock club. They were in the Mad Men club, which Beehive Yarns created at the start of the year. So I was just so inspired by the colourways, and I just thought, what better way to celebrate them than by creating a sock collection. So this is the first one. These are the Peggy socks, and they've got sort of like a textured chevron pattern. I'll just show you. They are the same on both sides. So yeah, you get this sort of garter ridge and chevron pattern that goes up the front of the sock, and a couple of twisted stitches, and then on the back there's just this little circular cable that just runs up there. So yeah, they are now available on Ravelry. If you have been waiting for that. They have been out for a couple of weeks now, I think, so you've probably seen on Instagram already. But if you're not on Instagram, they're now there. Okay, so we've got one FO this week, or this episode I should say. And that is quite a big FO for me. And it is my latest shawl design. So this is, it now has a name as well. This is the Pear Blossom Shawl. Oh, I'm going to have to move back. It is the Pear Blossom Shawl, and this was designed using some gorgeous yarn, which was given to me by Tony of Kinsman Yarn Co. And she's based over in Australia. And I really, really love her yarn. She has a couple of different bases, but this base is the Kinsman Merino fingering, and the colourway is 100% merino, by the way, no nylon in this one. And the colourway is Hepburn. And I'll just come a bit closer just so that you can see the little speckles and nuances in the colourway, because it is such a beautiful, delicate colourway. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I loved working with this yarn. Here, I'll just scrunch it up so you can have a look. It's getting blown out a little bit, but where in the shadows you can sort of see it is sort of like this blush pink colour with the lovely sort of pink and yellow and gold speckles. Oh, you can see some lovely ones over here as well. So yeah, I absolutely loved knitting with her yarn, and this design is currently in testing. I'm hoping to release the pattern by around the end of May, and this is the full-sized 2-skein version of the shawl, but I'm also going to have a shawlette version which just uses 1 skein of fingering weight yarn. And I think, where did that go up to? You have 4 of the lace sections on that, so that one, if I can hold this up, will end here. So you've still got a decent size shawl, enough to wrap around. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I might just try it on to show you. I normally like to just wear my shawls wrapped around like this. And this sort of asymmetrical shape, you can either have it just like this long bit, because you end up with 1 shorter side and 1 longer side. And I quite like how it looks just sort of like hanging down, so it is just sort of a bit off kilter, but if you want you can wrap it around again. And this yarn smells amazing. I just love it so much. So yeah, I quite like wearing it like this as well, and then it just makes it extra cozy. So yeah, I really, really love it. I'm so excited to see what colourways everyone uses who's testing this. So I will keep you in the loop when I have set a release date for the pattern. I don't know why I'm standing up now. I'm just going to sit down. But yeah, I love it. It's just quite a simple pattern, just with lots of garter, some eyelet sections, and a fairly short sort of lace section that's repeated throughout. But you do have to pay attention to each row on the lace section, but it's not super long, so you just have to concentrate for a small amount of time and then you're back onto the garter. So I just find that breaks it up and makes it quite fun and interesting to knit. So I'm going to take this off because I'm so warm, because I've got this sweater on, which I forgot to talk about. Let me just fold this up nicely. I can't wait until I can let myself wear it. I can't wear it until I've taken the pattern photos. It's not allowed. Cool. Right, I'll pop them up there. Oh, got some hair. Floof everywhere. It's probably Joe's hair. I think his hair gets knit into everything I make. Okay, so I forgot to talk about at the beginning the sweater that I'm wearing. And this is, I'll stand up again. This is the Koipua. I think that's how you say it. I'm never entirely sure how you say any of the names of Caitlin Hunter's patterns, but I believe this is the Koivua. It's spelled Koivua, I believe, but I'll include a link in the down bar anyway. So yeah, I think the last time I showed you this, I think I had finished it, but I was waiting to block it. And I did actually go back after I blocked it. It wasn't quite long enough, so I did go back and ripped out the bind off, and I just did an extra inch of ribbing and called it a day. I wasn't going to rip back all the way up to the texture because I don't like undoing all of the work that I've done, and if there's a quick and simple solution, I'll normally go for that. Because I think it looks quite nice with the longer ribbing anyway. I don't think it affects the look of the garment that much. So yeah, this is sort of my first all over colourwork sweater. So I was quite excited but also quite nervous about doing the colourwork. I think I used a 1 needle size larger for working the colourwork bits than when I was doing the texture sections. Pretty much all of the sweater is either texture, like this, if you can see, or colourwork. There's not many areas that are just plain knit around and around. But yeah, I do really like the fit of this. I think mine turned out a little bit smaller than most people's, and a little bit shorter as well. I'm not too sure, but I wanted it around the same length as my soiree sweater, which is a cropped sweater, and I want it to just overlap with my jeans so that then I can wear it with jeans, obviously with a vest underneath tucked in, just because when I lift my arms up, otherwise you'd see, I don't know, not that it matters, but I would get cold. So yeah, so I've forgotten what I was saying. Yeah, I wanted it cropped, but just long enough to overlap. And I quite like the length of the sleeves. I'd maybe have them a little bit longer, but these are quite practical. I always find if I'm find that I'm rolling my sleeves up anyway if they're too long. I'd probably, if I was to do it again, knit them to around there, but because I didn't swatch, I didn't know how the yarn would behave. I thought it might grow a little bit, but it didn't grow that much. So yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you what yarn was. The yarn, I absolutely love the yarn, and I'm definitely going to use this again. It is John Arbon in the Exmoor Zwartballs base. I don't know how you meant to say that. I'm not good at pronouncing things, but it's basically an undyed base, and there's 3 different shades. I think I've talked about it before, but I used the lightest shade and the darkest shade, and I believe the darker one has more of the Zwartballs sheep wool in it than the other colours, so they've got more of the Exmoor. And it's quite a rustic wool, but I really love it. It's not itchy at all, and you can see I've even got it around my neck, because this sweater does have, like, I don't know what neck you call this, but it doesn't sit like around here, it does actually come up a bit. And I don't have a problem with it at all. I'm not an overly like fussy person. I don't tend to get that itchy from things anyway, but I just find it a really lovely, woolly, squishy sweater. And I really love the other ones that I've seen people making of this as well. In particular, my friend Hikari, who is Hikari Handmade, I think, on Instagram. You should definitely go look at her sweater, because she's used, I can't remember what she used as the main colour, but her contrast colour, so where I've got the dark for the leaves, I think she's used spin cycle yarns, and it's like graduates through like green and blue, and possibly brown. But hers is absolutely gorgeous, so I really want to steal it, but unfortunately she lives too far away, like halfway across the world, so I can't steal it, but I definitely would. So yeah, but yeah, absolutely love it. It's so much fun to make, and I'm going to stop going on about it now and move on to some whips. Okay, so I've got about 4 whips to show you. The first one is leading on from the Mad Men Peggy socks. I'm now working on the Betty socks, and I believe I showed you the yarn last time, and I might have just started the toe, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's living in my lovely project bag, which says Socks for Doggy on it, and this was a present from my friend Kate for my birthday. I'm so lucky. I'll include the link to the shop that sells them. I think they're called QB's Not-for-Profit. So it is a not-for-profit business, which is really nice. So the yarn for the Betty socks is this. I absolutely love it. It's just gorgeous. Just so summery and girly and bright. I love it. So I have finished one of the socks now, and they are currently in testing. I'm hoping for them to be the pattern to be released in a couple of weeks. So here's the one sock that I've finished so far. Hopefully it can focus on the sock. I'll zoom in a little bit so that you can sort of see the pattern up close. See, it's got this little flower pattern that goes up one side of the sock. So this is my right sock. So on the left, it'll be on the other side. A bit like with my cottage garden socks. See, it just goes up sort of the front side of the leg. Turn out a little bit. And then I've done an eye of partridge heel again, just like with the Peggy socks. Just really like the way it looks, so I thought I'd include that again. And then there's a little detail on the back of the sock for this one as well. And it looks like cables, but it's not cables. None of this is cables at all. If it looked like it was, they're not cables. They're actually a really simple, easy stitch, which I like. Yeah, so yeah, this is the Betty sock, currently just one, and the other one is in progress. This is where I'm up to. So I just started it yesterday. Yeah, I'm really enjoying these. I just really love the yarn as well. It's so lovely to work with. Oh, and yeah, the little progress keeper, I believe, is from, is it Sugar Tots? I'm not sure if she's called Sugar Tots or Frosted Betties on Instagram, but it's a little sleepy tea bag. Is that it? And it has this little heart too. Oh, it doesn't want to show you the heart, sorry. No, not happening. There you go. So yeah, they are in progress. As I said, they're currently in testing, and I'm hoping for the pattern to be released. It'll be before the shawl pattern. So yeah, we've got a couple of pattern releases coming up to look forward to. Exciting. And I think they're both quite spring summery as well, so it's quite fun. Okay, so that's the first whip. The next whip that I was maybe going to show, I haven't made tons of progress, but I have made a little bit, and I feel like I've spent quite a bit of time on it. So I was going to show you my dust of snow again. This is living in my Mrs. Brown's bag, which is just super useful. And where are we? I think I'm now on colour 19. Am I on 19? Yeah. So this little marker shows where I was the last time I spoke to you. So it doesn't look like tons of progress, but I'm really enjoying it, and I've done a couple of colours since, so I believe that colour I was on, this is all Gilmore Girls themed, by the way. It was the Dandelion and Dogwood advent calendar from last year that I've used for this. All of the yarns are from that. And I've got quite a bit left over of each as well, so I'm thinking I'll be able to do a couple of pairs of scrappy socks with the leftovers, and I'm quite looking forward to that. So yes, this colourway I believe is called Yale Daily News, and this one, which is a much darker grey with some darker areas and speckles. I think that one is called A Saint of a Woman. And then I'm just starting to fade in this navy blue. I'll just get the actual one for that one so you can see. It's this gorgeous navy. I think it's showing up a little bit brighter than it is in life. I think the screen is showing it a bit brighter is what I'm trying to say. Words, Hannah. Okay. Here it is. And I think this one's called Stars Hollow. And I just love it. And they're also sparkly and glittery as well. So yeah, it's going to be the sparkliest, floofiest dust of snow ever. I absolutely love it. Just try and show you the ball of the other one. Oh yeah, this was the previous colour. Saint of Orlan. I think. You can see it has got these little areas of brown and black. And so pretty. Yeah. Oh, I just love it. So yeah, there's not really too much to tell you about that. I am really, really loving how it's working out. So yeah, I think I did show you the entire thing colour by colour last time, so I won't do that again. But yeah, you can sort of get the idea how it's fading from one to the other. It's going to be so squishy and warm to wear. Can't wait. But yeah, this one, I'm really enjoying the process of making it because it's just such a relaxing knit. And I think I said that quite a few times before, but I don't really want the project to end. Do you think it'd be crazy if I just went right back to the beginning of the pattern and just did an entire repeat again? Just ended up with a really, really, really long dust of snow. Be like a train of snow, wouldn't it? I suppose I could always do another one. But yeah, I really, really love that. It's just so, I love that it's big enough to fold now. I don't know what it is about folding knitted things, but I love when they're big enough to fold. Don't know why. It just makes me really happy. Is anyone else like that? Or is it just me? Oh, okay, so the next whip is a pair of vanilla socks. I've got two more whips to show you. The next one is living in this beautiful project bag. Look at the little bunny. This was made for me by my lovely friend Claire of Bird Street UK and Sophies Yarn. I absolutely love it. It's just beautiful. And the other side, little trees, birds. So I was hoping, because I was planning on podcasting tomorrow, not today. I was hoping I'd manage to get this sock finished before I podcast, because then it would be an FM. But I just decided I felt like podcasting today, so you get it a day earlier, but less progress. So, I might just steal one of these sock blockers to pop this on. I've got one finished sock, and I'm mostly done on the foot of the second sock. So I've not got that far to go. I'm not sure if this sock blockers are a tiny bit too big for this sock, but that's good because these are not for me. So I think I have quite big feet. No, I'm not very tall. I just have big feet. Anyway, it's not important. It's not what we're here to talk about. So, look, one finished sock. I think you've seen that before already, but still good. And this is how far I am on the second sock. So, if you see the heel, where does it end? Yeah, that's how much knitting I've got left to do. Not very much. So the main colour that I'm using for these socks is Laughing Apple, and the colourway I think is Summer Lawns. So it's quite a bright, summery colourway. I just wanted something really bright and fun, just to have. I like to just have a vanilla sock on the go, just so I've got something I can just knit round if I need to. Just really mindless and easy to it's very portable to take to appointments and things like that. So yeah, that's the main colour. The contrast colour, oh wait, I'll just show you the ball. There we go. The contrast colour is leftovers of a skein which I used for my Midwinter Mist shawl, and it's the, just get the ball, it's a Fine Fish Yarns, and it's in the Grimoire colourway. I absolutely love this colourway. I might have to get some more of this at some point. I think this is my last bit of Fine Fish Yarns that I have in my stash, so I'm definitely going to need to fix that problem. I'm holding it really weird, sorry. There we go. I love it. And I'm just going to take this off the sock blocker now because it is a little bit too small for the blocker. So yeah, this is how it's knit up for the toes. And then for the heels. And the heel that I've done is the New Depths heel, which is by Becky Sorensen, who is Soprano Knits on Instagram. And I think she hosts the Stringing It Together podcast on YouTube, if you want to check that out. But I don't really enjoy the process of, if I knit cuff down on a sock, I don't really enjoy the process of knitting a heel flap and gusset, just because I hate the bit, once you've done the heel flap, I hate the bit where you then have to pick up stitches for the gusset. And I just find it really annoying. So if I knit toe up, because I really love the feel and the fit of a heel flap and gusset on a sock. However, I don't love knitting it cuff down. And I don't know what possessed me, but I decided I wanted to knit these cuff down. I think because I just wanted to go straight into the main colour and do the cuff, and then I could just knit and knit and knit. I think I just wanted a bit of a change as well. So I've decided if I'm doing a heel flap, if I'm doing knitting cuff down, I'm going to use this heel because it's a little bit like the Fish Lips Kiss heel, but she's adapted it so there's a couple of different sizes and widths, so you actually have some increases and decreases to give you some extra room and a bit more depth to your heel, which I believe is why it's called the New Depths heel. So I do really like the pattern for that, and she does include it in all of her sock patterns, which I really like. But I think you can buy the heel one separately. I'm not sure. It's not very much. But I've knit some of her socks before, so I already have it. So, yeah. That's how they're doing. Hopefully next time there'll be an FO. And I might actually manage to finish these whilst editing the podcast today. See. So yeah, by the time this goes live, they could even be finished. But I'm still going to have to show you them again next time when they are actually finished. So there we go. Is that everything I needed to say about? I think so. Okay, I've got one more whip to show you, but this one's a new whip and it's super, super exciting. Or I think it is anyway. not just because it's living in one of my favourite project bags by Eldon Woodcraft. And lovely Emma of Eldon Woodcraft has a podcast as well as being a bag maker. And I believe it's called... What's it called? Is it just called Eldon Woodcraft? Yep, it is just called Eldon Woodcraft. Don't know why I thought it was different. But yeah, lovely, lovely bag by Emma of Eldon Woodcraft, and it's one of my favourites. And living in here is a new design, and it's my first garment design. I know. It's terrifying, isn't it? So first I'm just going to show you the yarn. And I am hopefully designing a t-shirt or like a top, short sleeve top type thing. And the yarn I'm using is fingering weight. It's 100% merino, and it's from Travel Knitter. There we go. I absolutely love it. Only problem is Jonah's hair shows up on this, and he's molting at the moment, so it's not a good combination, but I just couldn't resist casting on with this. This yarn is just perfect for the design idea I had in mind, so that's the yarn. Don't think I brought the label down for the yarn, but it's Travel Knitter. It's her merino base, which I think she's discontinued, but she now does BFL, I believe. Yeah, she has a few different bases anyway, so. But this is the Brambleberry colourway, I think. I just love it. It's like it actually glows. I don't know what she does to it, but it's just beautiful. I love it so much. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I've done so far. It could all go horribly wrong from this point, but I'm going to show you what I've done so far because this is the design process, and I want to be open about my design process, and if it ends up having to change and getting ripped back, then that might have to happen. But touch wood, so far it's going okay, I think. So it's going to be a sort of cropped, not super cropped like this sweater, cropped sort of t-shirt style top with some lace. So this is what I've done so far. Let's try and, because it's all a bit bunched up on the needles, it will block out. Be a bit more like this. There we go. Oh, no, not that bright. It is not that bright. There's no need for that. It's getting blown out a little bit. I think the camera's just angry that I'm showing it such a dark colour. But it's basically just this detailed lace section at the bottom, and it's going to sort of graduate into stockinette, and I'm really looking forward to the knitting around and around part. I think, no, that colour's not quite accurate. It's a bit darker. That's pretty accurate, that colour there. But I wanted to show you the lace bit up close. The camera's getting angry. Okay, quick. Getting so blown out, but at least you can see the detail now. Just imagine it in a darker colour. So yeah, I'm getting towards the end of the lace now, so that's just going to be sort of around here, and then it's going to be quite have a bit of positive ease, be quite summery and floaty, not too fitted. But yeah, my idea is I'd like to have it as a layering piece all year round, because I think this colour is really nice for autumn as well. So I just love the colour. I'd wear it all year round, I think. So yeah, that's what I've managed so far. So yeah, let me know what you think. I'm not planning on this being released anytime soon. I've got to completely figure out the whole design of the garment, which I find it easiest to do that as I'm knitting it. I have got a vague plan of how the construction is going to go, but the actual figuring out of numbers and things, I find it easiest to sort of try it as I go and figure it out that way. But everyone's got their own process and best way that they find to figure things out, so I'm just going to do what works for me. Oh, and also the little progress keeper, of course, it's my unicorn from, oh, don't blow it out, please. It's my really, really cute unicorn from Hannah of the Corner of Craft and the Corner of Craft podcast. I absolutely love it. So cute. I thought he just had to go on this one because it's a really special project. So yeah, those are all of the whips that I've been working on. My fading point, not fading point, no. My Spectre, it's because it's also a fade and it's a Hohi Locatelli pack. My Spectre sweater is still sat waiting for me to pick it up again. I love it. I've seen Claire of the Bird Street UK and Bird Box podcast. I've seen her Spectre. She's finished recently, and I think I'm using the same fade kit as her, but one of the colours is different, and it's absolutely stunning. And I really, really want to work on it, but I feel like I need to get some of these projects finished first. So I feel like I've only got so much brain space for the more thinky projects, the projects I've got to concentrate on. So yeah, it's just not the right time for it at the moment, but I will be getting back to it. So that's it for whips. I've got a couple of acquisitions to show you. I'll get to that in a second. Jonas is asleep in his bed. I think he was wandering around a bit before, so sorry if he's you could hear his paws like clacking on the floor. I know some people who watch this, their dogs react to hearing dog noises within podcasts, and yeah, hopefully it wasn't too disruptive. Sorry. Okay, so the first acquisition I've got to show you is actually a really, really lovely present from one of my very good friends who has recently visited Japan, and she brought back, let's see if I can show you this the best way. She brought back this super cute little pouch. It's got this geisha on the front. It's so cute. I'll just show you the back as well. And she thought, she is a knitter as well, and she thought this would be a perfect, like, teeny little notions pouch just to keep stitch markers and things in, so I can keep that within a project bag, which is so thoughtful, and it's so pretty and cute as well. And it was from Japan. And then she did also include, these came separately, but I've just stuck them on here so that they're all together for now until I add them onto projects. And she included 2 little Pokemon. Ooh. 2 little Pokemon charms, which she thought I could use as progress keepers. They are so cute. So I've got a Pikachu, and I've forgotten what this one's called. She did tell me. I've forgotten. Some of you are probably going to be shouting this at me, but I don't know. Can't remember. But he's so cute. It's so cute. So yeah, it was really special. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be putting some stitch markers in there. And it can live in a project bag, which is really cool. So that was the first thing. Then the other things I got to show you were all yarn. So the first one is, I've treated myself to a couple of things, not a huge amount, but there are a couple of things that I have purchased over the last few weeks. The first one is from Stranded Dye Works, and the wonderful Amy of Stranded Dye Works and Stranded podcast. She came up with some Drag Race inspired colourways, which, if you're not familiar, RuPaul's Drag Race is on Netflix, and she is obsessed with it. I've recently become obsessed with it, and it's like a lot of it is very light-hearted and like quite fun and silly with the challenges they have to do, but I think it's really, really cool, and some parts of it are really inspirational as well, seeing the journeys that the drag queens and contestants make, and yeah, it's just really, really really awesome show. So if you haven't given it a try, you definitely should. I didn't think I would enjoy it. I didn't think it would be my kind of thing at all, but I am now hooked, and I'm on season 6, so, which I think Amy said was her favourite season. And Bianca Del Rio, oh, I love her. I love her. Anyway, I digress. I picked up one of Amy's Drag Race inspired colourways, and I limited myself to just one because I thought I need to stop buying just single skeins of yarn that I have no idea what they're going to be. But I decided this would make an awesome pair of socks. I loved all of the colourways she came up with, but this one for some reason just grabbed me. I'm not normally a massive orange fan, but I don't know what it is. It's something about the orange and the purple and the sort of pinky coral sections. Like, that's a bit of a coral bit there. And these speckles. Oh, I don't know if I can show you any better. No, I'm covering it up more. But yeah, I just love it. This colourway is called Reading is Fundamental, which refers to one of the mini challenges which features in each season of Drag Race. It's just stunning. I absolutely love it. So I think I just got it on she did have them on a few different bases, but I got it on just the Superwash Merino Nylon fingering weight base, because I thought that would make a really good pair of socks for me. So yeah, trying to resist casting things on, and it's becoming more and more challenging. And the other skein of yarn that I got, I forgot to say, with the Drag Race inspired colourways that Amy did, she very generously donated a certain percentage of each sale of these colourways goes to a charity which I think is local to her area of the UK, And I think, was it an LGBT charity? I've forgotten the exact name of the charity, but I think it was an LGBT charity. I can't remember. Pretty sure that's right. But yeah, a certain portion of each sale of these colourways is going to that charity. So I just thought that was really, really lovely. I wanted to support that. And the yarn is stunning, so it's a win-win. Anyway, right. Next acquisition. So I've seen the lovely Pixie Yarn, lovely Sophie of Pixie Yarns. She recently developed a new colourway. She's done quite a few new colourways, but there's one in particular I saw on Instagram, and I saw it, I was like, that is amazing. I need that in my life. Like, I need a pair of socks in that. And it's her new colourway, Cloudburst, and it's got big sections of grey and then sort of like a rainbow speckled section as well. And I'm not sure if it might work up like slightly striping. I'm not too sure. I've not undone the skein because I don't want to. I'm not very good at skeining, so I don't want to have to reskein it. And it just looks so pretty as it is. And I missed the first update that she did with that colourway, and I think it completely sold out. And then I was on Instagram, like I think over the weekend, and I just happened to see a couple of minutes after she posted, she'd done a shop update, and it had this colourway in it, and I was like, oh my god, I need to go on there and see if there's some left. So I did, and I managed to grab a skein. So I went with the sparkle base because if I'm thinking socks and sparkle is an option, then I'm going to go with sparkle. So yeah, it's Pixie Yarn, and it's the sparkle base sparkle base fingering weight, which is 25% nylon, 75% merino, and 5% silver stellina. Yeah, just look at it. Look at this. I'm obsessed. I've just had it, like, since it arrived, I've just had it out on the dining room table just so I can, every time I walk past, I pick it up and look at it. It's just so pretty. I love it. I'm so excited to meet Sophie properly. We're both going to be at Flock, which is like a Yarnie event for knitters, crocheters, any fibre artists. In the it's based in the southwest, but people are welcome from everywhere. And it's held in Bristol. I think the next one is on the 1st of June. And both Pixie Yarn and myself are being showcased at that one. So I'm really, really excited about that. So I think Sophie will have her yarns there, and I'm going to have some of my samples, design samples on display as well. So I'm really, really excited about that. It's quite scary and nerve-wracking. So, gotta like do things and try and be professional and stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, so we're both going to be there, and I'm really excited to get to meet Sophie properly this time, because last time I was quite overwhelmed by all of the people at the event, and I was just sort of like, I don't really know who to say hello to and who to talk to. So yeah. And also this time I'm bringing my mum. So hi mum. She does watch the podcast, so she's going to be coming down from near Manchester to come and stay with me for the whole weekend, and then on the Saturday she's going to be coming with me to vlog. So yay! She'll get to meet all of my like knitting yarny friends that I've made. So yay! super excited. So yeah, if you want more info about Flock, I would check out Bird Street UK Instagram. She is the organizer along with Mr. B. And yeah, but yeah, all the info's on her page, and I think you can be added to the email list as well if you want to, by contacting her. So there's one more acquisition, and this one is really special. The lovely Lana of the Yarn Lab UK reached out to me and asked if we could, she could give me some yarn to do a design and provide yarn support. And I was so excited. I absolutely love the Yarn Lab yarn, and it's just, her colourways are just beautiful, especially the pinks and purples and just the speckling. It's just so pretty, and the colour combinations she puts together. So I think we're going to have, well, I'm going to design a shawl, and we talked about colours, and she sent me this, which I'm so excited about. And it is a shawl kit, which I think she does have in her shop. And I think it's the Midnight at the Observatory kit. So 3 colours, fingering weight yarn. And I'm so excited to get going on a design for this. I've got a couple of ideas floating around in my head, but I need to finish up a couple of things, and then this will be in the works. It's in the works in my head. Just got to, I've got to get things finished before I can start new things, but yeah. Here it is. I love it. So the 3 colourways. This one is Aura. I think they are all Harry Potter inspired, which is another thing I love about Yarn Lab UK, because I am a huge Harry Potter dork. I love it. Look at those speckles. Yeah, that one's Aura. The second one is The Movement of Planets. I think this one might be my favourite. I love them all. They're so beautiful. Yeah, and then the last one is Studying of Stars. Look at these vibrant, deep purples. They're just gorgeous. Oops. Love it. Just beautiful. There we go. Just gorgeous. I love it. So I'm super excited about that, and to have the opportunity to design with this yarn as well. It'll be really fun to sort of play with 3 colours in a shawl and. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that I've got to talk to you about. And I think I've got everything sorted, yeah. I can't think of anything else. I've not got anything else written down. So yeah, that must be it. I think I might have included a little bit of footage of the Cheltenham Jazz Festival, which was on the last weekend here. And so yeah, I'll try and include some of that either at the beginning or the end. So you might have already seen it. You probably have already seen it. But yeah, if you're wondering what it was, that was the Cheltenham Jazz Festival. And we did enjoy that. We didn't go to any specific performances, but we did. I just went on the day, I think when they were setting up, I walked in with Jonah and just have a look around and see what it was like this year. And then I came back at the weekend with Jimmy and Jonah, and we had a wander around and got coffee and some vegan cake as well, which was really nice. So yeah, it was really, really nice weekend. So yeah. Anyway, it was really, really lovely to chat to you all and show you what I've been making. I really, really love reading your comments and thoughts about my projects, and I'd love to hear what you've been making too. Which projects are you really enjoying? And yeah, it's really lovely to speak to you, and I will see you all again in a couple of weeks.